Hi. Thank you for attending today's reading. Let's begin. Peeing my pants got me a trip to Legoland. This story takes place during my second grade year. During the week we had to do a test, and one of the rules during the test was that you couldn't use the bathroom during the test. No big deal, right? Well, during the first day of the test, halfway through the first section I felt like I had to go to the bathroom. I raised my hand and asked the tar if I could go. And they told me I could once I finish the first section of the test. As I went on with the test, my urge to go to the bathroom grew and grew. By the time I thought I finished the first section of the test, I couldn't bear it. I asked the tar if I could go. "Did you finish the first section?" he asked. "Yes." Quote. He then flipped through the test booklet. And you know that thing where you are reading a book and when you turn the page it's completely different, then you find out it's because you flipped over 2 pages instead of 1 by accident? Yeah, that. He told me to finish the page, then I could go. But by this point I couldn't hold it in any longer and peed my pants. Shyly I raised my hand to tell the teacher. And I got pulled out of class. The school called my parents and told them what happened, and they were furious with the school for what they did, so much so that they had me exempt from the rest of the test and got me to stay home the next day. That day after I woke up, my dad surprised me with going out to breakfast and then going to Legoland. After that, for the rest of the week the test was taking place. I got to sit in the counselor's office and read books. Best of all, I got to go to the bathroom whenever I needed to. That was fun. End of story. Next story. The day I realized that life is as fragile as a thin panel of glass. T.W. Pretty gore. A shitton of blood, hospital and medical stuff, and some post-trauma reflections about death. Recently, my life changed. It was a Friday. A very weird Friday. From one very second to another, a page turned. However, this morning wasn't too shitty. Since I was about to have a running session with a good friend of mine and his dog. As usual, the doggo is very intelligent. She is a mixed collie. And she especially loves when I scratch her ears. As I arrived in the hall of my building, something went wrong. There is this huge glass panel right after the stairs and lifter, with a glass door in it, that, in 2 years of living in this building, I had never ever seen closed. The middle panel is always open, at a point that I hadn't noticed there was a door at all. It has no handle, no sticker, nothing. Just a huge and high glass panel. This morning, whatever the reason, it was closed. As I was inattentively walking, as fast as usual, already thinking about meeting up with my friend, I obviously didn't notice the door. I went totally through it. In less time that I need to say it. It was at this moment I knew I had fucked up. Everything went so quick yet so slow. This second lasts forever. I see a glass door that ain't supposed to even exist, that explodes in a multitude of deadly triangles, as sharp as knives. The picture is beautiful. I mean, could have been, if it doesn't involve myself getting transformed into low-budget meat steak. The following second, I fall, using my elbow not to hit the ground with my hands. My brain doesn't realize what just happened. It has way too much data to process. Did I just walk straight through a glass door? Wait. What door? Oh wait. Is this blood? My blood? Quote. There is so much blood. The wounds are so deep that I can't believe my eyes. The scene is horrific and kinda cinematographic. It is a bloody hell. Budum TSSSS. Luckily, There was this girl. She was at the building entrance, like 6 meters away from me, and instantly turned back when she heard the huge broken glass sound. She quickly looked at me, then took her phone and called for rescue. I can still hear myself mechanically dictating her my name, address. Without even realizing it, my mouth seemed like it was on autopilot. Then, as I was about to faint, I felt her seating near me. I don't remember who started the conversation, but someone did, and because of that, I didn't faint, and stayed there. We talked about her studies, and mine, and maybe some random stuff that I don't remember. The emergency truck arrived quickly, as the 3 rescuers were starting to ask me questions and bandage me to stop the bleeding. The girl quickly asked if everything's good, and left, while smiling at me. I got transported to the hospital. While laying in the back of the truck, I discussed with the younger emergency worker, who sat near me. He was kind, and the trip didn't last long. I won't narrate the whole day at the emergency, because that would be so long. Anyway, I eventually underwent surgery, with general anesthesia, for the deepest wound in my leg. It happened that the muscle was at almost 2/3 severed. For the whole day, I was obsessed by my inability to warn my friend. He was probably worrying about me. And in fact, he was. And it was mentally painful to me not being able to tell him I was at the hospital and doing okay. I actually got so lucky. It could have hurt my eyes. Or even worse, vital organs. Thinking about getting my veins cut, or my face severely injured totally freaks the shit out of me. It's broken glass. Probably one of the most dangerous materials. Glass is beautiful, yet fragile and so dangerous. A deadly piece of art. The idea that I could have been blind, and never been able to watch Inside Out, or Spirited Away again, truly terrifies me. The idea that I could have died. I've always felt like a hard survival instinct flooding into my nerves. But it was the first time I felt this true fear of death. So deep, visceral, almost like paranoia. Can't even imagine all the consequences of it. It's not even about the friends and family. It's about me. There are so many things that I crave to do before passing away. I'm not afraid about death in general. But I just can't die now. I have to leave my print in this world. I have to breathe. Dying before I find myself. Before I travel. Before I learn languages. Before I know love. Simply isn't an option. Another fact is worth noticing. For the whole day, meanwhile I was getting literally butchered. I kept being nice with medical workers. Joking around. Discussing about their job, etc. The fact that I was still sane and able to joke about my own situation really amazes me. It is proof that, even in the worst moment, I'm still able to do that. I crave to do that. Laughing. And even most importantly making people laugh. It is my ultimate way to feel alive, I suppose. Realizing all that meant a lot to me. It broke a huge barrier in my way to understand myself. I'm still on the tracks. Life keeps moving. So do I. That goddamn Friday. Something ended. Something else started. A page of my journey turned. Life is fragile. And you should never forget about that. One life. One chance. All ephemeral. Ephemeral. By Insomnium. Life is fragile. Yet so precious. As fragile as a thin panel of glass. End of story. That is all for today. If you want to support my automated channel, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. See you tomorrow.